Welcome to Harry's Hook. I am a journalist, big fan of boxing. I've written published articles on it. I also train and spar. Ryan Garcia sent shockwaves through the boxing world with a majority decision over Devin Haney. I lost out on winning $200 betting that Haney would get dropped but ultimately win the decision. Bad for my wallet, good for the sport of boxing. In today's video, I'm discussing what the hell happened, what we learned, why Haney should have watched my content, his Achilles heel that makes him particularly vulnerable to his peers, and the connection between Ryan Garcia and Deontay Wilder. In the very first round, Garcia badly hurt Haney by exploiting a technical flaw that I warned about multiple times. His jab will be crucial, but on many of those jabs, Haney has a bad habit of pulling his right hand back, which invites that potential potent counter left hook from Garcia. One way to help guard against this is if Devin keeps his right hand glued to his jaw as an extra layer of protection while he fires off that lead hand. And here we see it. Haney fires a jab and he pulls his right hand away from protecting his chin, leaving it exposed. King Rye fired one of his signature lightning left hooks on the money, and Devin was in trouble. Haney ultimately recovered, took control of the fight, and outboxed Ryan until round 7, when King Rye threw a jab, left hook combo, catching Haney on the chin and dropping him. For the next knockdown, Garcia did something that I said prior to the fight that he should do. If Garcia is going to pull off the upset, I think he's going to have to take an aggressive approach. Overwhelm Haney's defense with that speed, like Linares was able to do when he nearly ended the dream. Ryan wasn't always aggressive. In fact, for much of the night, he was circling the perimeter of the ring, not looking like he had a real plan. But in this instance, he pressed Haney, forcing him backwards while throwing punches, and ultimately landed that left hook. And on that final knockdown, Haney had been trying to clinch, Ryan wasn't having it, caught him with that left hook, and put a stamp on the night. Haney just didn't have his hands up protecting against that left hook, but he had been hurt multiple times. I suspected his head wasn't clear. Despite some great defensive statistics, I think we learned Haney's defensive skills underlying those numbers are a bit overrated. He can outclass fighters like Kambosos and Prograis, who don't have particularly quick hands all day long. But boxers with hand speed like Garcia, Linares, and Lomachenko can overwhelm his defenses. We also learned that Haney's power does still seem questionable at 140. I suspected maybe things had changed, judging by his excellent performance against Regis Prograis to win the WBC title. However, he landed some clean shots on Ryan, but King Rye never really seemed like he was in legitimate trouble. Now, while I wasn't surprised that Ryan didn't seem like he had much of a plan, I was shocked that Devin didn't appear to make the proper preparations ahead of time. I had even said this. Again, throwing your left, whether it be a jab or a hook, and not using your offhand for protection leaves you exposed, particularly to the left hook. And in the case of Ryan Garcia, this can be a fight-ending mistake. He did not fix his bow and arrow jab, as we saw in the first round. The knockdown in round 7 came because he holds his right hand a bit low in general, but he didn't make an adjustment for this fight in spite of the fact that he and everybody knows the kind of danger Garcia's left hook brings. And I was expecting him to be really sharp on his defense because of his suspect chin, which I pointed out before the fight. Now, Haney got wobbled by Linares and hurt by Lomachenko, who is a small 135-pounder. Now, maybe Haney will be a bit more solid here at 140, but I gotta see it to believe it. At the end of the day, I don't trust either of their chins. While I did mention concerns surrounding Haney's power or lack thereof, for me, moving forward, the far bigger issue is his chin. This could be his Achilles heel against top quality opponents. Do we really think that he could beat Ryan in a rematch, judging by how he took that left hook? What about the power and precision of Tank Davis? And by the way, this win just raises the stock of Gervonta's stoppage over Garcia. But getting back on point, what about the explosive punches of Teofimo Lopez? Could Haney handle those? I straight up don't trust Haney's chin. And I would say that we learned he needs careful matchmaking moving forward. I'm going to share some more thoughts about King Rye, his antics, whether I thought they're real or fake, and his cracking power. But first, if you enjoy this content, do me a solid, like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, all that good stuff. I appreciate your support. For Ryan Garcia, it's full steam ahead. He says he doesn't want to make 140 anymore. That's fine. He is a fun matchup for anyone in a catchweight around there or 147 because we learned that his power carries late and that left hook is always a problem. We also learned some more about his determination. He never stopped trying to win. He never gave up. Even when he was getting outboxed, he stayed focused. If not outside the ring, at least in the ring. Did we learn that Garcia's antics were purely mind games and trolling? I'm still not totally sure. He joked about it after the fight, however, I'm still not totally convinced. And maybe it's just a credit to his acting. He does seem like a loose cannon to me. But loose cannons, though undisciplined, are still dangerous. And that is Ryan Garcia. He really, in some ways, is like Deontay Wilder. A wild, charismatic, physically gifted boxer with clear skill limitations who can consistently be outboxed. And yet, it doesn't matter. He always has that one weapon that can erase all his mistakes. And I, for one, cannot wait to see him fight again. And that right there is Harry's hook. Let me know what you think in the comments and what you want next for Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney.